Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this free Celtic Cross pick a card for love, soulmates, and twin flames. You can choose 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is in my Celtic Cross series, and we'll do a Celtic Cross. Under each of these piles is a different tarot deck, and I have already selected the cards. I don't know what they are. And this is going to be information about the new directions of love and the new opportunities that are coming into your life in the areas of love, your twin flame relationship, or your relationship with soulmates. If you're really not into romantic love at this time, you can think about friendships and social relationships. Everybody who's coming in for the live show, hi, good morning. Make sure to leave a thumbs up for the video. Even if you're watching this a few days, weeks, or even years later, it really helps when you leave a comment in the about section once the video is posted. So keep that in mind. You're helping me a lot by doing that, and you're helping me continue these series. So your options again are 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to begin with number 1 as usual. I'll just set these down here so that you guys don't have to bother looking at them. And then we will just basically begin, okay? So I have 3 Braille cards, and then I have a message. Maybe we'll save this for the end. And then this is the Usi deck. It's called the Other Worlds Tarot. It's one of those premium self-published decks. It's really beautiful. So I recommend it to anybody who's interested in a beautiful deck. Your first card is the Two of Rods. So remember, we're talking about beginnings in love and soulmates and twin flame relationships. So I feel as though you have had your eyes open in a new direction, and now you understand in some way the things that you have to do different in order to achieve that which you want. I feel as though you're looking at something from a different perspective, in a different manner, or in a different way, and that's giving you kind of insight about situations. And I think you might be attracted to something quite different than you were before. The next message is the Queen of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising possibly, but I feel as though you have had heart-to-heart conversations with this woman, and in some way she's opened up your eyes to accepting or welcoming into your life new people with different types of backgrounds, different types of qualities and characteristics than you're usually used to. So this is a welcome event in your life, and I think that in general you are probably feeling quite open at this time. Your heart's open. You're feeling as though this has kind of pushed you past your comfort zone, and that's a good thing, because now you are open to different people, different situations. You're more tolerant, you're more understanding and loving. Okay? At the top of the chart is the Moon. So you have a certain type of attraction that you are drawn towards. You're attracted to some things that may be different than that which you feel are socially acceptable, or maybe you're attracted to things that you have still come to terms with. So, maybe sometimes you're shy to say it, or whatever it is, you're still working on kind of acknowledging the thing that you actually truly love and desire. And that's okay. One of the things when you get a little older, I'm in my 30s, so once you get a little bit older, for anybody who's watching, when you're younger, you don't ever realize in your 20s and teens how you continue to grow into your 30s, and I presume later as well. I have a lot of clients in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond. So we continue to grow as people, and so the reason I'm saying that is I feel like this moon, I never got that when I was younger. I never understood. I thought I'd get there and it was done, over, fine, great, let's move on. But no, it's kind of like a continual process of evolution, and it's a continual process of growth. So don't be shy of the fact, however old you are, don't be shy of the fact and embrace it. See it as a possibility. One of the big hang-ups with accepting such things, the things we're shy of accepting about ourselves, is the fact that in some way maybe we feel it could stunt feeling as though we should already be there and accepted, tolerant of everything. So know that it's a totally normal feeling at any age to continue to find things about yourself, especially in terms of attraction or whatever, new layers to your sexuality, to your love blueprint, or your love makeup. It's a wonderful thing. So it's not something to shy away from, because the moon can make us feel shy, right? It's the shadow, or it can feel as though it's something that is difficult to truly, how do you say this, connect with. So I'm just telling you, don't be shy, because it looks like you have a really open energy here. Here is the next card below. We have the Death card. So something has changed. Maybe a relationship has ended in the recent past, or a friendship has ended. So, or maybe a life event, a time or a phase in your life has come to an end, and now you are moving past it. Maybe on a personal level, you're also making those changes already. In the past, we have the Lovers. So yeah, it looks like maybe some of you guys have lost your relationship, or the relationship didn't work out. Maybe the dynamics in your family have changed, and now you are trying to figure out which way to go with things and how to put things together. I feel as though this is a good thing, and I feel as though there's a lot of positive change. These are Trump cards, which have a lot of resonance. They're usually more like life themes, more so than events. And so the fact that they're all around you means that you are growing so much right now, and your love ability is growing so much right now. And I commend you for being so open. When all of this stuff happens, we tend to maybe feel as though we need to shut things out, close off, but I think you continue to search and have your heart open, and that's a good thing. The oncoming energy is, so you have the the Eight of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. This is a timeless reading, meaning you can watch it anytime, but I feel as though I'm filming this when the Sun is in Virgo, so it coincides with the card. But the Eight of Pentacles means that there are certain things that, as you come to terms with the new ideas or concepts about yourself, as you kind of formulate and crystallize your identity in your mind, you will apply yourself towards achieving new things in your life, and working towards new goals, and working towards new things that you want to create, and new things that you want to see materialize around you. So maybe you want a sports car now, so now you know to save your money and to work appropriately so that you can achieve it. So with these new realizations that you are having, there are new things that you do to achieve that which you are trying to get. The next message, and this is you, we have the Eight of Swords. It's a I don't know what to do kind of energy. That's okay. I feel as though forgiveness for these kinds of things is necessary for the moon and for this. If you take the 10 out of the moon, then we have 888 already in the reading, which is kind of like personal regeneration and growth principle. So the fact that you don't know, don't let that defeat you. Let that be, it's a frustrating energy because you don't really know where to ground yourself, or where to kind of put your confidence down on, or which way to direct your energy and efforts. But I think that the main thing to remember is that you're supposed to whittle away at the things that you want, and you will ultimately achieve what you're looking for. This is the next card, and so we have the Nine of Swords. It does look like maybe people around you are not always the most helpful, particularly family members. It looks like maybe some of the people around you have somewhat let you down, or maybe you're still maybe not in complete conflict, but in some way you want to break away, and you are in some way Oh, the swan is chained up. That's perfect. So the swan is chained up and anchored, right? So the swan wants to leave and can't. And the thing about swans is that they mate for life, right? So once they find their partner, they will stay with that partner until one of them passes away. And so I feel like you need to be very cautious of your current environment because they may be holding you back from going and finding that perfect person or that perfect someone, you know, or really being with them. Especially if you've just had a recent breakup, sometimes ex-partners have a way of trying to sabotage and to destroy, you know, current relationships. People are like that sometimes, and sometimes people in your own family can, in some way, persuade situations. So I don't mean to be too negative or discouraging, but I do feel like you really need to take a certain type of pacedness in this situation. Take your time with it. I feel as though you really need to and don't be foolish, you know. Your intentions are your own and you have a right to them. And as you adjust your life to your intentions, which is the Eight of Pentacles as well, and as you figure out all the things you need to do, I would say until you're really settled in the direction that you're going, take your time with people around you, because people have a way of, you know, kind of everybody. Anyway, let's just leave it at that. That's enough. Here is the next message. We have the Three of Wands. You've put in a lot of effort into your life already, so there's this feeling like I'm ready for it to come now. I understand that, but I feel as though you're still adjusting, and this is a transition point, and I feel like you should really embrace these new visions that you're having about yourself, these new visions about what you desire. The outcome card. So we have the new moon, which is actually today. So I feel as though maybe this has been in the recent past, and this is saying that something new is about to open up for you guys. The new moon, I'm reading at 11 a.m. So the new moon is at 1 p.m., right? So just in 2 hours. So I feel like whichever time you're watching after that point, I feel like the new moon is already triggering that for you. And whenever you can look on the calendar and find out when the next new moon is to kind of figure out what you're stepping through. Don't begrudge situations. Don't feel weighed down by them, and hold your head high. And I really want to tell you that this is the right path. You know, like the thing that's in your heart, you're not wrong for feeling it. And I think it's a time to not feel so sorry about the fact that people from your past are not necessarily congruent to your future, because that's progress, right? You have to sometimes leave things behind. Here is the next message. So this is a little quote, and I'll read it for you guys because I can't have autofocus on, obviously. Love unlocks doors and opens windows that weren't there before. Minion McLaughlin. So that's really beautiful. So it really reinforces that new moon. So if you feel like, you know, your family or your social connections are not supporting you, then maybe the love that you're about to receive, the love that is about to come into your life will open up opportunities to you that you're not perceiving yet. The Eight of Swords is often about waiting, right? It's not so much about what you can do. Sometimes it is, but oftentimes it's about waiting for that other shoe to drop, the other event to happen, and then you can do something about it. Here is 3 cards from an oracle deck, and I read just the name of the cards and try to clear your mind right now and allow the messages to come to you. So you have Potier, which is the action. This is like to do. And then we have laughing. And then we have falling in love, which is the lovers. So you're transitioning from one lover's card to another. This is the one that's probably the furthest away. And then there is another family, another connection that is just around the corner for you. So hold out a little bit longer, number ones. I feel as though good things are just beginning. I feel like this was to do a lot with centering you on the past and what happened in the past and how you were dealing with it, all of these cards. And you can bring this into the present and the future, the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords. It's up to you, but you really in some way need to, disconnect and in some way move past it, and don't get weighed down by the negative energy, because you're going somewhere really true and somewhere really good. Okay? Okay. So that is that. So let's take a look at the next pile. Let me know how you guys like this reading, and please comment and leave a like. Isn't this a beautiful deck? It's one of my favorite decks. I'll read more often with it here. Just really, really amazing. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful tarot decks I've ever seen. And I'm not being dramatic. In fact, I think all the decks I'm reading with today are really top-notch in my book. Okay, so here we go. We have some cards here, and then we have the Dreaming Way Tarot. Here, I'll show you guys the boxes too. So this is the Dreaming Way Tarot, number 2s. If somebody wants to do time caps, always appreciated, okay? So let's begin. So for your first card, you have the World card. Wow, 2, we start with a bang. For love, the World card is kind of a pretty big card. It represents that in some way a completion of a cycle has happened. You may be in the arms of the person you love, or you may have them really in sight, and that connection is there. Or otherwise you have made a drastic life change and have settled into something, an energy that you desire. Change, right? So the Fool. So we have the last card with the first card, and so the Fool represents a new beginning, on some type of adventure, travel, and possibilities. This could be unexpected meetings between one person and another person. That divine connection, that soulmate connection that sparks off. At the top we have the Nine of Cups. Ooh, guys. So this is fulfillment of wishes. Now it's getting good. I feel as though you had wished for something. This is a leisurely life at this time that you lead. Some type of relaxation, enjoying yourself, enjoying the energy that you get to enjoy, and really kind of like living your best life, living your desires, and going after that which you want. I feel as though there could be a little bit of melancholia, or kind of because of inertia, because you have everything you need. What will in some way motivate you to go further? But I feel like it could be almost also kind of struck in love, so you feel a certain type of way, and it's really overwhelming you, and you kind of are losing time because you are you're kind of stuck in this emotional high, right? On the bottom you have the Seven of Pentacles. I think that you've invested a lot into your life. You've led a pragmatic life in which you have put a lot of effort in towards the things that you have around yourself at this time. You've worked really hard and diligently. And so in some way that continues now. You have a drive within you that's been there with you for a long time, maybe even from childhood, that was associated with trying to achieve and find success for yourself, finding a place in the world, kind of defining who you are. So this is feeling a little bit, it feels amazing, but also at the same time it feels as though there's a little bit of like, it's not really you to sit around like this. It's not really you to be so puppy love about something or someone. And so on, like, your inner voice is telling you, like, come on, get up. You gotta do this. You gotta do a better job than this. So you already have that pressure on you. In the past was the Moon. And so in some way, this can feel like you had mixed feelings about a situation, mixed feelings about the direction that you were meant to go. In fact, for some of you, look back on the calendar, look back to the last full moon and new moon and see how that is connecting for you. And I feel as though you found a feeling. So in some way, the way that you had thought your feelings were different, and you came to realize, and you had that learning opportunity for that. And as you had that learning opportunity, your heart opened up, and you became really, really dumbstruck because you dared to in some way open up yourself to love and to emotions. And I think it's opened up a whole new world for you, so much so that you may be considering travel, you may be considering changing your life completely. And this person under here, this reminds me of a Virgo so much. It's like, well, if you're going to change so much, what about me? I've worked my whole life to achieve what I have, and so now what? So it's a little bit of like an annoyance with yourself that you're feeling, because you're like thinking of doing something kind of out of the ordinary, kind of crazy, and kind of breaking apart from some direction towards a different type of outcome. The oncoming energy is that, okay, Ace of Rods. It's it's like out of nowhere. Maybe this is a part of your wish, like divine forces are working with you in order to achieve, some kind of outcome. So on its own, it would have been just like a wish fulfillment. But here, this Ace is sort of reconciling this with that. It's like, this doesn't have too much industry in it. It doesn't have too much work and energy towards work, and this is kind of the investment that you needed that will help to bring out the efforts and also settle them in this new life for you. So this changes things a little bit towards the better. Let's take a look at the 4 cards here. So we have, this is you, King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Woman or man is fine. This is the life that you have earned for yourself. You have earned for yourself the fruits of your labor, and you have really you have confidence that the things that you have are yours, and you're holding your head high. And I feel as though it feels kind of strange to go back to the drawing board and let go and make yourself somewhat vulnerable in certain directions and try again, and I feel as though on its own it feels like, what are you doing? Why are you kind of sacrificing or taking a chance with something that you have put a lot of effort behind? But then on this level here, there is this, on the outside level, it's like you can't help it because you love someone or they love you, and it's just not necessarily a logical decision. Here is the next message, but that just because it's not a logical decision, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's different than the way you've led your life. And I blame Pisces. I blame the moon because I feel like in your dreams and in your imaginings, something crept into your mind. You've met somebody or you saw something, and then it just kind of opened your eyes and your heart melted, right? And this would have been a fine life of comfort and stability, but I feel like now you need more. You need the adventure, you need the love, you need that, you need the sexuality, you need, all of that energy. It's almost like Dionysus up here, Dionysus wants to come into your life a lot. 3 of Wands. Okay, so this is the efforts coming in. People really like you. They like what you have put out there. You have a lot of good friends. You have a lot of people you can turn to. And in some way, this is providing you security, because it is a little bit of a risk. It is a little bit of, like, you feel like it is a bit of a risk. It is a little bit of out of your ordinary. And so this is reassuring you that people really like you. So even if things don't go as planned, then you can turn back and you will have the connections that you need that are already there. Here is the next message, the 3 of Swords. Around you, fears and hopes. Okay, so the fears are that you are going to have a broken heart, that you will have setbacks because of a broken heart. And I hope that you're not hoping somebody around you has a broken heart, because that's not really a good plan or idea. But I think probably pretty afraid of a broken heart. And then the outcome is the 5 of Pentacles. So this is about turning towards someone else in some way and understanding your vulnerabilities. It's funny when somebody who has a lot of strength, financial or physical strength, or whatever strength they have, when they come and look at their lives and they see themselves as in some way vulnerable in the things that they thought they were strong in, it's like It's like, okay, so I like to swim. I swim like a 50-meter pool, but there's a pool in Vancouver that's like 130 meters, and it's open only in the summer. And I do okay in my swimming, like in the winter time or fall or whatever. And but when you go into that big pool, that's where all the swim clubs swim. And I mean, they swim in the 50-meter pools around all year too, but it's like you step into the kids pool. That's what it's called if you guys want to look it up. You step into the kids pool and like you get smoked because they swim so fast. So you work yourself up to a pretty decent speed, and you feel pretty good in the 50-meter pools, but then you swim in the summer with the quote-unquote big boys, and then you get your butt handed to you. And this is kind of the humility of the experience. It's like you have perspective that there is need to grow. And remember, we mentioned that in this, it was like the inertia of having everything that you want, you know, getting up to that right level of speed in swimming, or that you feel comfortable with. And then you swim next to someone who can really swim fast, and then, you know, suddenly you get perspective and motivation. So hopefully that is the inspiration that will help you push forward in a good direction. Like you culminated, right? We had this is the world card, remember? So yeah, your quote is, "True love is like ghosts, which everyone talks about and few have seen." And this is like Francois de la Rochefoucauld. Francois said that, okay? So here we go. And then we have 3 oracle cards. I try not to interject when I'm reading these. Maybe they're kind of working with your intuition, and hopefully you'll have some meanings. So your first card is freedom. This is the world card. So freedom, slowing down, and forgetting. Okay? So freedom, slowing down. So I think that in some way you're settling into something while not necessarily completely undermining that which you have. And I feel like you're pushing forward in a direction that will be inspirational to you, not only for your own limitations that you can now set as challenges to persevere through, but also in compassion towards other people. Okay, number 2s, that's that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to number 3s. I hope this was helpful. Okay. This one was really deep. It felt like you were really culminating and starting something new. So hey girl, hey, let me know. And especially if you watch this like 2 months, 2 years after it's posted, it's a timeless reading, so it'll work for everyone. But just tell me, you know, how it worked for you and how you like the reading. I feel like they're pretty good. Okay, so this is number 3s, all right? And this is the Art of Love Tarot. So let me know if you chose number 3. And let's just begin right away. And so you have a message, Ace of Angels, some type of communication. It's coming through with wisdom, right? So something very clear is coming into your mind and consciousness and your heart. The cross card is the Awakening. This is the card of Pluto. There's a lot of epiphanies around you now. There is a lot of insight about the way things are and about the way that things have been working out, or the way that things have been going on in your life. I feel like maybe making a choice with regard to other people is a big thing right now, but also making a choice with regard to who you are. You know, you can change who you are every single day. I mean, that's not really healthy or stable, but you can change who you are if you don't like it right now, and you can just say, I'm not that way anymore. Or you don't even have to acknowledge it. You can just say, this is who I am, and that's okay, right? So I think it's a part of your awakening, and in some way you're making that deep connection about something, a final decision about something as well, and that's okay. And there's a lot of peace here. There's a lot of peace. This is the last judgment. There's a lot of peace. There's a lot of forgiveness. I love this card. This is really challenging the Thoth deck for one of my favorite cards. But yeah, so I feel like there is peace here. There is forgiveness and awareness and understanding. And I feel as though you are in some way transcending a small space of your being for something that is far greater. On the top, we have the Two of Angels, and this is balance. I feel like in some way with your interpersonal relationships, love, soulmates, or twin flame, you are in some way, how do you say, you're communicating with each other in a passable way. It's everybody's nice to each other. Everybody's making nice. The conversation's not too complicated. It's not too it doesn't harp down on you in any way. It doesn't try to bring you any kind of dis-ease or anything. So I feel as though calm communications are happening around you, and you are growing in awareness with regard to the state of things and the way that they are, the way that they're being. Below the surface, we have the Knight of Stars. So this is the Knight of Wands, adventurer. So maybe on a personal level, you're setting out for some kind of adventure. You're maybe wanting to change your place of residence, or maybe you want to go on a trip. Maybe you want to stop seeing somebody, or maybe you want to start seeing someone. You just want to make a quick change. Or likewise, a person has started contacting you, and they're a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and there's a quick change associated with them. So either they're coming into your life super fast, coming or going, or maybe they just have left. But either way, I think that it sparks your taste for adventure. It sparks for your taste for something different. I feel like this is very transitional. Ace of Swords, and the stars. I feel like in some way this is a traveler's kind of alignment here. So you're in your travels you're on the road as we speak. Here is your past energy, and you had the Magician. You told someone something that was supposed to happen. You did it impulsively, so you asked the universe if it was the right time to do it, and the universe said yes. That's pure magic, right? It's the conversation with the universe and speaking to God and listening to what you are supposed to do and being guided by that energy. And so maybe you spoke to the right person, maybe they were the magician, but some kind of sequence of events had initiated in your life, and that has led you to where you are now. And this person's push in your life, or your own push in your life, has created for you flux, and it's created for you the ability to move forward. I feel as though the push was positive. This isn't, something bad happened to you. It's you asked for something, and it came true. Here is the next message. So we have the King of Stars. So this is the Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And so this is someone who's coming in who sees beauty in you, or beauty in the situation. Maybe this is you also. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I feel like this is the person who, in some way, they're a bit of a schemer, I would say, but not schemer in a negative sense. I think they like to manipulate the environment that they're in, and facilitate change and improvement in people's lives and situations. I feel as though this person takes on pet projects, I want to do this, or I want to do that. And so in some way, I feel like this person is kind of coming in to offer something, to offer their presence, they're creative. Oftentimes these people are artists, and in some way they're trying to create something new. So it looks as though there's this connection that's happening here, that is happening via communication, and there's inspiration between two people. They see they see beauty that they want to transform. They see beauty that they want to stand behind. Here is your next card. So we have the Nine of Trees, the Nine of Pentacles, and so this is refinement. And so I feel as though at this time, you may be single actually at this time. This is Nine of Pentacles often means that you're single. But the Nine of Pentacles means that at this time there's great resources of wealth at your disposal. So you truly, truly can exemplify wealth, security, get in touch with that energy, get as much out of it as possible that is available to you. And I think you're very much admired by other people. Other people are, in admiration of you. And I think that they have like a high esteem and a high regard for you. Here is the next message, the new beginning, new beginnings and friendships. This feels like friendships to me too. They could be more relationships or whatever, but I feel as though both the Magician, the Knight, and the King of Wands to me feel like three different people at least. It's an energy that's happening around you. And this is you, of course, the generator. Like you're the funky, amazing, whatever it is, like I love this. This is butter. But anyway, so I feel like, new beginnings and friendships as you emerge and you become that which you are, or which you have always been. It starts with a word, it starts with a conversation, but yeah, it's like you're the, like the oracles, like the Oracle of Delphi or something, but all the oracles, they were like revered, and people would like walk up to them and they'd just be like, oh, and then people would be staring at them. It's that kind of energy. And I don't mean to like boast your ego or anything, but I do feel like in some way this really high vibration energy, it's with you, and you're meant to connect with it. You're meant to like fully ground into it, fully connect and manifest forward what is within yourself. Okay, here is the next message. I feel like the Three of Stars. Okay, so I think that you're hoping that your efforts are going to produce outcomes, or maybe you're afraid that something from the past will follow you, so that in some way when you share of yourself, when you make yourself vulnerable, and when you express that which is within you, there will be energy that will be trying to hold you back. But you're also really hoping that where things are going, there's going to be an outcome that will be plentiful. But I think that you should really more focus on gratitude for that which you have, because the outcome is already plentiful, because it's the Nine of Pentacles. It's like full beauty and full maturation of energy. The outcome is the Eight of Trees. So this is the Eight of Pentacles, skill. So I mean, everybody can look pretty, right? Like put on some lipstick, put on some mascara, you got this, right? But I think that it's what is behind it that is what is of value, right? And that is resting upon your commitment to that which you are doing. That is resting on the efforts that you put behind that which you are creating. And so I feel like, all the admiration in the world does not necessarily make up for a person who's not playing the part, or who's not taking care of their business. So I think that you're going to very quickly understand it's not entitlement what's coming for me, but really focusing on what you can earn, and a lot of productivity. So if you're making something, if you have a business, if you're making projects or art, I feel like this will be a time of great productivity, because I think you will be nurtured in the right direction. Okay, But this is soulmate relationships too, you know. This is just admiration and people who understand what the mechanics of what you are doing is, like people who fully resonate with you. So let's see your quote. Your quote is, love a wildly misunderstood, although highly desirable, malfunction of the heart that weakens the brain, causes eyes to sparkle, cheeks to glow, blood pressure to rise, and the lips to pucker. This is by Unknown. Okay, so I feel like you're going to fall in love with yourself, and you're going to fall in love with your environment, and that environment in some way is going to yield for you just pure support for that which you are. So double down on who you are right now, and really in some way push forward with the true authentic expression of your being, and really refine whatever skills you need to reinforce that. Okay, here is your oracle cards. So you have going, thankfulness, and glory and victory. So I feel like, yeah, so an energy may possibly be leaving you, but there's a great gratitude for that which you have, for what you have put in. So in some way, the Three of Wands is yielding for you a good outcome, and I feel as though great success in work and great success in your skill set and what you're working on in your life. Those things are going to be majorly abundant for you at this time. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that reading. Leave a comment and let me know how that resonates. And especially if you've been watching like a couple months, couple weeks after this video originally posted, this is a timeless reading, so it's for any time. So let me know how that resonated for you. Okay, so the eight of trees, the Eight of Pentacles in some way is like such earned success, right? Self-confidence for the things that you have really worked hard towards. I'm reading this when the sun is in Virgo, so this is Sun in Virgo in this card. So the skill of who you are, you know, the pure confidence of what you have created. Okay, so let's take a look at your romance angels. Yes, okay. So these are the these aren't the romance angels. This is the Victorian Romantic Tarot. This is for number 4. Thank you for waiting for your turn. Here we go. So first card is, so you guys have the Seven of Cups. So it's been stormy waters. You don't know exactly which way to turn. These are such beautiful cards. I forget each time I pick them up. I'm so glad. This is from Baba Studios. This is a they're like a self-printed cards. They're so beautiful, and so they have like a iridescence on the face of them, and you guys can get them at Baba Studio. They've been recently reprinted. I don't even know if they're not sold out already, but Seven of Cups. So really kind of murky waters, difficult moments, not really sure where to stand with things. There's great ambition, but there's also great miscalculations that are going on in your situation. Let's see your next card. You have the Art and Temperance card. So whatever's been going on for you or going on around you, you in some way have been trying to combine it into something that works. And maybe you've been expelling a lot of energy into a relationship that has been a little bit rocky or a little bit all over the place, and you've been putting a lot of effort in that direction. Likewise, a Sagittarius person may be a huge influence on you at this time. At the top, we have the World. So I feel as though your world should be perfect right now. It's almost like, you know, you're coming of age, or maybe you're in college in some way, and you're studying, and everything is fun and celebratory. This is a good time of life for you right now. And whatever it is, maybe you're starting a family, maybe you are working a job, pushing along, you know, in your direction. And so I feel as though maybe the world doesn't know what's going on in your heart. Maybe the world doesn't know just how difficult things have been for you in terms of your inner balance, and in terms of what your heart wants and what you've been receiving. So it seems as though you have everything, but I think internally you feel as though you're still really struggling. Below is the Knight of Swords. So you've been dealing with a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or maybe this is you. But I feel like you have someone in your life who is speaking things to you that are undermining your well-being, and I feel like that's causing this storm. And so this person in some way is continually pressuring you. Maybe this is your own self-criticism, but this person is continually pressuring you to have a limited experience. But this person also defends, right? So he's defending an angel here. So he's defending an angel here who looks like has been hurt, right? So this is a person who comes to the rescue as well. So it's difficult to feel a specific way towards the situation. You just don't want the Knight of Swords that has turned his sword on you, right? So otherwise they're pretty decent people, and I feel like, you know, this is what's been going on. Critical mind, I feel, in this situation is a huge part of what's been going on. Self-criticism, confusing emotions, reductionist thinking, or things that really in some way just break things down to a minute scale, so much so that you lose perspective of just how much positivity there is around. Or it's a personal battle that you're fighting with your emotions, or maybe your mind, and the world doesn't know. So it's something that is hidden. In the past was the Knight of Cups. There was some kind of offer. Gosh, he's so beautiful. So there was some kind of offer, but I feel as though this was like the guy who's nice to everyone. So what is so special about that? So there could have been some kinds of offers. It could have messed you up emotionally a little bit, to be truthful, and maybe this is why you're so on guard, because this person who tries to, it's kind of like covert narcissism a little bit, because they want to be liked by everyone, so they'll just give like a little bit of extra charm to everyone, just to have like the experience of being appreciated and being acknowledged as being the nice guy. Nice guys I'm not so keen on, like nice guys are kind of they're problematic, what motivates them to be the nice guy. And I feel like this is exactly the consequence of dealing with a nice guy, because it's a little bit manipulative, right? It's not little, it's a lot manipulative. Someone to save their own ass in some way treats everybody a certain type of way, and then everybody who gets confused or manipulated has to deal with the consequences when they're long gone, right? Here is the oncoming energy. So no wonder, if this is you, no wonder you're just like, I'm going to save my own angel. I'm going to cover my own ass. But you also then have to, the other part of it that's ugly is that now you have to be the Knight of Swords, because you've been compromised. And so I think that the thing is like to reattain balance in some way and harmony. The oncoming energy is rest, take a nap. just don't let it get to you. A nap time is like the perfect time to in some way get over these feelings. Sometimes it'll take, depending on how serious the situation was, I feel like depending on how severe the situation was, that's how long you'll have to nap. And of course, maybe that doesn't mean sleeping, but you have to take some downtime. And I'm sorry you have to do that, especially if you like to go fast like me. But if in some way you have to, in some way, slow down and take a pause, while this person just wasn't really worth it, was he or she? This person, took you off you weren't paying attention, off guard, and they left you in bad circumstances, and you don't have to beat yourself up for somebody else's doing, right? That's their choice making, not yours. Three of Wands, karma. Yay! I love this. I always think of this as karma too. So this means like you never want to wish someone ill, but I think that good karma from your good efforts and your willingness to try to find a good situation will come in very soon around you. Did I shortchanged you guys a card, so hold on. And then there is the Wheel of Fortune around you. There is people who you're connecting with who are going to bring you wonderful things. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. You're worried, that you are going to be in compromised position because of past experiences with this person, that you are going to experience a lack because of how they treated you. This Wheel of Fortune means like there's someone who's coming in who's going to be bringing a lot of good things into your life. So I would say don't fight back in any way, but also just kind of know that you're not going to be in this space for very long. And here, I'll show you guys. Sorry I did this. I didn't do it on purpose. But I feel like it's kind of interesting because we don't know what's going to come up, right? Like, what's going to come up out of all of this? There's really good things coming into your life by way of your social associations. There's someone who's going to bring in wonderful things for you. And the main thing is, like, you got caught in a trap. You got caught in some kind of BS that wasn't yours. And this person, they kind of like float around, and they're like surrounded by adoring spectators, and they just kind of float around, and that's their thing. That's all it is. That's all it is. Really. It's like they just want to be admired, right? So let them be admired. But you know what happens behind this person? There's like a whole, it's like a wagon going down a road. There's like a whole, like all the dirt road gets all mixed up and messed up and whatnot. So this person's like, they're in the presence of, like, oh yes, I'm so appreciated. But behind him, all those people are like, WTF, like all these people are getting manipulated. So there's like a long line of BS that's coming after them, Okay, so let's take a look at your outcome card. You have the Ten of Wands. So I have to tell you guys this. I think that you will have to make up the lost time, make up the lost energy that this situation took from you. And I feel like this feels like my last year, like 2017 a lot. This is you guys, and this looks like last year for me. And so basically you're going to have to giddy up, haul ass, and do what you need to do. And at some point your good luck will kick in. You can't, just because something or someone put you in a weird situation, that doesn't mean that you need to stay there. And in fact, you just have to kind of not feel sorry for yourself, and in some way push through it. And there will be like people will in some way get in your way, because it's like you've been made more vulnerable. That's the other part about this that's kind of shady, or kind of like, he's a townie. Yeah, he's a townie. Perfect example. He's a townie. And so when you've been like put in this position, you should expect that there will be some low-key BS going on from other people, because those types of people that do that kind of stuff, they zone in on a person who has been put through something. So it often comes with like a trickle trail of fun experiences, but I think that ultimately you are becoming strong. I don't think you're weak anymore, and I feel like you should just deal with them as they come and push forward, and refuse to accept this BS, or especially don't make excuses for this person. The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. For the hunger for blood. It's Mother Teresa. Vampire edition, yeah. The hunger. Oh, God. The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, everybody deserves the right to love, and everybody don't feel ashamed for wanting to love. You know, don't feel shame for wanting to love, and refuse any kind of blame. You know, you need to rest and you need to get your stuff done, and you will meet somebody who in some way gives you that. It's a human right, right? So to make fun of people's human rights, or to make fun of people's natural desires is or take advantage of them, is just, you know, it's the lowest of the low. I think this is saying that good things are coming to you and your karma is pretty much set. Let's take a look at 3 oracle cards. So you have knowledge. It'll never happen again. Never ever, right? And then richness. Okay. And then making real. So I think that, you know, the person who did this in my life, in part, I'll tell you guys, said to me at some point, of course I didn't know what they were talking about, but now I understand, you know, the things that you may not like it, but then you're going to realize how it's helped you. It's like, no, actually, you were an asshole to me, and you know, you can try to justify it in some kind of metaphysical BS, but at the end of the day, it's just BS. So I think that you shouldn't get wrapped up in any kind of feelings towards that, and I feel like your things have been derailed a little bit, but you'll get through it. I got through it. You can get through it. I'm not that smart, trust me. And and so I think that there will be good people that will come into your life. I think the universe was watching. So I think that this will be consequential. I don't like to call out karma too much, but you know, these things kind of happen a certain type of way. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to comment. That really helps, especially if you're watching like a few days, weeks, or months, or even years after this was posted. This is a timeless reading, which means that it's good for any time. Okay? Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.